Bing bong.
I know that supplements are a big deal in the fitness industry, especially in the fitness influencer space. There is something specific about supplements that makes them a little bit of a gray area when it comes to what you're consuming, and that's the fact that they are not FDA approved. The FDA has no oversight over the supplement industry, which basically means these companies could all be lying to you about what is in their product, and a lot of them have. There have been countless stories of companies getting sued for lying about what they're putting in their protein powder or their pre-worked out. If anyone remembers Jacked 3D back in the day, that stuff apparently had way too much of a banned substance in it. It's one of the things that has created a bit of a murky area when it comes to supplements and what you're taking and how you know if what you're taking is okay. While there is no FDA regulation on supplements, there is one certification out there that you can get, and I wanted to talk about it very briefly because it's one of those things that if you look for it, it'll give you a little more peace of mind about the product that you're picking up. Now, I should also say, in case it's not obvious, because this channel only has like 500 subscribers, I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. I will absolutely call out the ones that do not have this certification, but I did want to show you guys what I'm taking and what I look for on these products if I can find it. So what we're looking for on any supplement we take is something called NSF certified, the National Sanitation Federation. Why this is an important certification to look for on your supplement products? The main reason is that it is extremely difficult and tedious to achieve. The NSF, when they go about testing these supplements, it is an incredibly rigorous testing process. They also conduct unannounced tours of the facilities where supplements are made. So if you apply for NSF certification, you really have to make sure you are doing everything imaginable to make sure your product gets that certification so that the people who know what it means, which I don't know why it's not like more talked about, but the people who know what it means, or the people who get curious and look it up, know that your product is about as safe as it can be in an unregulated industry. So this is some creatine that I picked up recently. Haven't opened it yet, but I have used this company before, and if you can see right there, NSF certified. That is not easy to get, as I said, and I will also say that on creatine, I mean, it's more of a peace of mind thing. Creatine is one of the most heavily studied supplements in the history of the supplement industry. But again, it's just a peace of mind thing. I also have some C4. This is the pre-workout that I take, and they put it right there on the front. NSF certified, yeah. NSF certified. Now, pre-workout, I look for it a little bit more because that's just a ton of chemicals you are putting into your body, and I'm sure, probably not a good thing, but at the very least, if you are going to take pre-workout, try to get one that's NSF certified so that you know everything they say is in there is actually in there. Now, I also have some creatine here that I was sent about a couple months ago, and they do not have any NSF certification at the moment. They do have something called Informed Sport Certified. Now, I do not know what that means. And to my knowledge, this is somewhat of a newer company, so there's a very good chance they're in the midst of trying to get NSF certification. It wouldn't surprise me if that were the case. But right now, they don't have it. If you had it, it would be on the package. It's something that you want to show off. Like I said, C4 puts it right on the front of the product. And I also have my protein powder here from a company called Ascent. No NSF certification, but it does only have like 3 ingredients. It's a little more expensive than a lot of the proteins out there, but that's one of the reasons I buy it, is because I recognize all of the ingredients on the label, which is another thing to look for if your supplements have like 87 different ingredients. Not a great start. That's another thing, if your supplements have like 87 different ingredients and no NSF certification, not a great place to be. Now, the reason I harped on the pre-workout having NSF certification is that several years ago, a company called Jacked 3D got in a little bit of trouble for having a very addictive drug in their pre-workouts. This is something that was found after a lot of testing, and they ended up having to pull all of it off the shelves. I'm not even sure the company exists anymore. They got in a ton of trouble. There are also other companies like Gold Standard. They got busted for lying about how much protein was in their protein powder. This sort of stuff is very common in the supplements industry because, again, if you're not regulated, you can just say whatever you want, and I guess people have to trust that you're not lying. In the future, If you look for any sort of supplement that you're interested in taking, which again, you don't need supplements, but if you do want to try taking something to help see more progress or whatever it might be, look for that NSF certification. Just from a peace of mind standpoint, it helps to know that whatever the company is saying is in the supplement you're taking is actually in there. And it's one of those things that I didn't know about several years ago, and it wasn't until I started working at Crunch and saw some of their supplements had that label on it that I wanted to learn more about it. And turns out it's incredibly helpful, and you can find it on a lot of different products, and I just recommend that it's something you guys look for in the future. Hopefully this video was helpful.